Good evening. I'm Dr. G, and this is my YouTube channel. It'll be Life Struggles with Dr. G and a few other people that might sit in and visit. I've got some friends quite a few friends in the entertainment business who might want to sit in, and some other people in the medical field and otherwise. Why do I call it Life Struggles? Because, if you stop and think about it, your first struggle was coming out of your mom's womb. Okay? And that's the first trauma we usually go through. Life doesn't have to be a constant struggle. I'm not arguing that. The idea is that we have to get through these things, and we have to know how to handle these things. All right. If everything went perfectly smoothly, life would be really boring. Okay. This way, we grow, as the Dalai Lama says, when you lose, don't lose the lesson. What did we learn from it? What can we change and do differently? In that book, 9 Steps to a Better Life, okay, that is available on Amazon.com, as I say, in Audible and all that, and Kindle. We're riding around cars a lot lately. It's kind of a nice time to listen to some things like that, okay? Chapter 8 is Humility Can Be Cool, okay? And what I mean by that, there's a difference between being humbled, humiliated, and annoyed, okay? I had a young gentleman who's in the music business, a young rapper, and he came to me, somebody I know, and he came to me after being on tour. But he said, you know how you've always mentioned the fact that there's a difference between being alone and lonely. In 2 weeks, I'm getting on the plane going off to Europe for 2 weeks to sit and avoid things. I'm not taking friends. I'm not going to hang out with a lot. I have some friends over there. I go to the same place a couple times a year. But I need to be alone at the point so that I can get some other things done. That's a big issue, okay? That's by choice. But lonely is when you're sitting there like, oh my God, nobody cares. Nobody's around. What the hell? But this particular person said, I was up in front of 75,000 people getting ready to perform. And he said, I looked around and I thought, damn, and he said, Doc, you know what? I was both in front of everybody because I knew they weren't there for me personally. They were there for my music. And if I failed, if I didn't do what they wanted it to be, they weren't going to come up and put their arm around me and say, don't worry, dude, you'll be fine. They'd throw things at the stage, they'd cuss me out, and they'd stop buying my music. Life is a struggle, but it helps make it fun. If you went to a football game or a soccer game, okay, and the teams got together and shook hands and said, we love you. I know, we love you too. We're just going to be nice. I don't want to hit you, push you, whatever. Just step out of the way when I need to run and do a touchdown, okay? You would never go back and watch. You go there, I mean, the cheers, how many times do you hear cheerleaders yelling and saying, we love you, don't worry, team, everything's great, everybody loves everybody? No, they're sock them, kick them, kill them, whatever. And that's the way sometimes without a struggle, we don't find things out. Some of you, if you just stayed in a simple job, but there's some point you decide that I need to move up a little bit. And when you go to a new job, it should be a little bit of a challenge for a bit. I'm very strong about and emphasizing the fact that it's the challenges in that do things. On my site there's a poem that I read actually about the Grand Canyon, okay? And I talk about the fact that I've hiked across the canyon. I love the Grand Canyon, particularly the North Rim where fewer people are. But as I sit there and I think, oh my God, this is so big and so immense and so amazing that, when I die, it'll still be here for another couple thousand years probably. And I feel very insignificant for the moment. But then I realize that if it wasn't for the little chipmunks running around and moving the seeds and whatever, and the birds carrying things from area to area and reseeding a hillside, if it wasn't for if it wasn't even for the droplets of water that went through there and made the Grand Canyon, there'd be no Grand Canyon. It would have maybe smooth walls, it would be very pretty, but it's the cragginess that makes it cool. If you've got a grandmother who's really old and she's 85 years old and she's had Botox forever and has done everything she can to make herself look like she's still 50 or 40, she's not going to have the depth and intensity that she would if she looks a little older. I mean, screw it. I look at myself right here as I'm recording right now and thinking, damn, you're old. Okay? And I am. And every, gray hair in our body, every wrinkle in our cheek, every whatever, is there because of things we've done and things we've worked through. Because if we didn't, nothing would happen. When you go out and do workouts for the gym or something, you have to remember there too that if it all went smoothly, your body'd never build up. You know the phrase, no pain, no gain.